This would start before the Tournament of Power began. Goku was recruiting everyone for the tournament, and in a short time he managed to recruit everyone. In this case, Majin Buu would not have gone to sleep, and so things would be even easier and faster for Goku, which would of course make it impossible for them to bring Frieza. Thanks to this extra time, Goku had the idea that he could use this time to train in the time room. He was training with Vegeta at the time, and so he'd tell Vegeta, "Hey Vegeta, how about training in the time room for a few months?"
Now what the hell are you talking about, Kakarot? How can you think of that right now? There are only a few hours left before the Tournament of Power starts.
Exactly, Vegeta. That's why we can't waste that time. Gotta take advantage of it and train. The guys that are gonna be in that tournament will be pretty strong.
Kakarot, but that's too risky. I'm sure of my power. I can fight those insects. Besides, if Beerus finds out that we're training in the time room, he'll kill us.
Goku would listen to the words of Vegeta, and this one would seriously say to him, "I see, Vegeta, and I'll go by myself. Just please don't tell anyone that I went to train in the time room. Make something up."
Do whatever you want, insect.
After this, Goku would go to Dende's palace, and he would tell him that he wanted to train in the Room of Time for a few hours. Dende would be surprised by this, since there was very little time left for the tournament, but he would still let him enter the Room of Time. So at that moment, Goku would enter the time room. He would begin to train immediately in that place. They'd spent approximately 3 months in that place, and Goku had managed to perfect a little the technique used by the Super Saiyan God Phase 2 with Kaioken. Meanwhile, Beerus would arrive to the Earth with Whis, and he would see that Goku was not anywhere. So he'd ask Vegeta where Goku was, and he would lie, telling him that he had probably gone to Kaio-sama to perfect some techniques. Beerus would be angry for this, but Vegeta would believe him. Vegeta was trembling with fear to think what would happen if Beerus knew that he was in the Room of Time. Meanwhile, in the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku would think, "I see, I'm not far away from being able to control this technique well without it giving me trouble when I use it." About 2 more months would pass, and Goku had managed to master the Kaioken times 100 while using Super Saiyan Blue. By that time, there was half an hour to start the Tournament of Power, so Goku decided it was time to leave. So I'd think about it. Before I leave, I really gotta know if I'm able to control the Kaioken times 100. Goku at that moment would begin to increase all his power, making the whole place tremble. He decided to test his strength and speed, so he'd throw a power ball, and he thought he'd be fast enough to throw it and then destroy it. So he did, but something went wrong, and at the moment of throwing it, Goku failed, and accidentally destroyed the entrance of the time room, and everything would be destroyed. Goku would go to see what happened, and he realized that everything was destroyed. Can't be! What did I do? I'm an idiot! How am I supposed to get out of this place? It's not possible! Meanwhile, outside the room, it was time to go to the Tournament of Power, and Beerus was extremely angry.
Where the hell is Goku? He should have come some time ago. If he's supposed to be with Kaio-sama, he should have come a long time ago. Damn Goku. Swear I'll kill you. That idiot Vegeta must have lied to me.
Everyone was scared because they had to leave, and Goku still didn't show up. Vegeta himself would be surprised and think,
"What's going on? Why isn't Goku here? He's supposed to be here right now. This can't be. Kakarot, what did you do? Beerus is gonna kill me for this."
Vegeta at that moment would tell Beerus that he knew what happened to Goku.
"Tell me, Vegeta, what happened to that bastard? I lied to you. He didn't go to Kaio-sama. He actually went into the time room to train. That bug said not to tell them, but it's too late to do anything."
Everyone else would be angry about this.
How could Goku have been so irresponsible to go train right now? He's an idiot. Thanks to him, we're all in this, and he won't take care of what he caused. This is terrible. Now what are we going to do?
Beerus at that moment would think,
"We're lost. That idiot will never come. We'll have to leave without him."
At that moment, everyone would go to the Tournament of Power, and they recruited someone quickly who could take the Saiyan's place. They'd arrive at that place, and the Tournament of Power would start. Meanwhile, Goku would be inside the Room of Time. No matter how hard I try, I can't get out of here. I gotta increase all my power to get out of this place. So I'll open the portal and get out of this place. With that said, Goku would concentrate and start to increase all of his power. Using Kaioken times 100, he was managing to create a portal, but it was barely the size of the tip of a needle. It was so small outside the time room, Dende realized that Goku had not left, so he would go to see what was happening, and was surprised to find that the entrance was destroyed, leaving Dende totally speechless. This isn't possible. Goku destroyed the only entrance that connects both dimensions. This is irreparable. In any case, if I managed to fix it, I would make the entrance, but it'd be a different dimension of emptiness. It's impossible for him to connect to his dimension. There are thousands like that, and I cannot specify which dimension I want to access. I don't know how Goku will get out of that place. For now, I can only ask Shenron to make that Saiyan immortal. At that moment, Dende would look for the Dragon Balls and ask Shenron to make Goku immortal, since he had not been able to bring him to his world. Inside the room, Goku remembered what Dende had told him, and that was that he had improved the time room, and it was practically altering it, as it happened before. Outside the time room, all the universes were fighting for survival, but as expected, in the end it was Universe 7 against 11, and the 11th universe came out as the winner, with Jiren standing on top. So all the universes had been destroyed, including Universe 7. In this case, Jiren would make a personal wish, which did not involve reviving other universes. And in this case, Zeno-sama would not do anything to them for choosing that wish. There was nothing left for the eliminated universes. And despite this, the dimension that Goku was in was not affected, because it wasn't even part of the universes as such. It's a place outside of those universes. Goku at that moment felt within himself that everything was over for his universe, and he would feel that frustration of not being able to do anything. I swear that when I leave here, I'll take revenge on Zeno-sama. He'll regret this. I'll train in this place until I become very powerful. Only death will be able to stop me. And so centuries and centuries would pass inside the Room of Time, in which Goku had remained locked up all this time. In all this time, Goku became very powerful, getting to have a very great power. In this case, Goku would never master Ultra Instinct, since his body was never cornered at some point of his stay. In that place, this one would obtain another transformation that derived from the gods of destruction, but not the state of Ultra Instinct. In this form, Goku would have a power similar to the one of Ultra Instinct, and this to Goku took him many years to dominate. Since he was alone in that place, Goku would think, with this new power I could defeat Beerus if he were alive. But however, I could do nothing against Zeno-sama. I've tried to get out of this place, but even with this power, it's totally impossible to escape. Being in this place for so long is consuming me completely. By this time, Goku was beginning to lose his emotions, because he had been in that place for too long. After that, 100,000 years passed in the room. Goku had an extremely overwhelming amount of power. By this time, he had lost his emotions completely. His power was comparable to the priest of Daishinkan. Now, yes, damn Zeno-sama, I'll leave this place and finally kill you. I lost my emotions completely, but I've never forgotten what you did. You destroyed the universes without any mercy, just for your stupid need for amusement. The only thing I felt all these years has been that of resentment. To think I lost everyone I loved. You didn't care about anything and you destroyed them without mercy. In fact, I won't try to leave this place again. I have to make sure I'm strong enough to kill you. After this, 2 million years had passed in the time room, and Goku's power was already immeasurable. It had already reached its peak thousands of years ago, and he had spent all that time doing absolutely nothing. His memories had almost completely clouded. 97% of his memories had belonged to the time room, but what he never forgot in all that time was his desire to take revenge on Zeno-sama. I'm tired of this damn place. I don't know what the hell to do anymore. As soon as I reach my maximum power, I'll try again to use all my power to escape from this place. It's totally impossible. What good is all this power if I'm never going to use it? This is disgusting. I'd do anything to get out of this place, sell my soul to anyone, but it's impossible. I want to die. At that moment, in an unknown place, someone would hear this voice, which said that he would do anything, and this one would think, whose voice is that? Does it belong to a Saiyan? Did it say it would do anything? I see it has overwhelming power. This mortal could be of great use to me. This is interesting. Meanwhile, in the time room, a big yellow light had illuminated the place, so this would leave Goku very surprised. The Saiyan would see a woman coming out of that big light, and he would say to her, who the hell are you? What are you doing in this place? This woman would tell him, I heard you said you'd do anything to get out of this place, and that's why I'm here. What do you mean? You'll help me get out of this damn place? That's right, but like you said, you'll have to do as I say. I swear I'll do whatever you want, but please get me out of here. I see. Then from now on, you'll do what I tell you, and obey all my orders. At that moment, this woman would then take Goku out of the time room, and she would take him to the only universe there was at that moment. Goku would see all of this, and he was shocked to see that there really was only one universe left, and everything else was nothing. Goku, seeing this, would remember his grudge against Zeno-sama, and the first thing that went through his head is directly to go to where Zeno-sama was. But she would see Goku's intentions and warned him that he couldn't do it yet. 5,000 years had passed since the elimination of all the universes, and things were somewhat different. In Universe 11, in all that time, Jiren had become much stronger, and he felt a great power that came from somewhere. He realized that it was not just any guy. and he'd go to where that power came from. Meanwhile, the woman would tell Goku that a strong guy is heading towards them, and that it was the warrior, Jiren. Who's this Jiren? What are you saying? I'm not interested in fighting this guy right now. You won't think so when I tell you whose son Goku is. That warrior was the one who won the Tournament of Power and gave victory to Universe 11. But what are you saying? It's that man? It can't be. He could have revived all the universes, yet he asked for something totally different. That's unforgivable. I'm sure I would have asked to revive the universes. Damn you! I knew the Saiyan would be like that. I was surprised when I heard his universe had been destroyed, but that guy's already here. At that moment, Jiren would arrive at that place, and he would see Goku. Be surprised to see that the Saiyan didn't come from his universe.
The hell? Who's this guy? If I remember correctly, the Saiyan belonged to Universe 6 and 7. How is he alive? That doesn't really matter. What are you doing in this place, Saiyan?
I see. So you're Jiren. You're the one who won the Tournament of Power 5,000 years ago. I've waited a long time to meet that person too.
I don't care what you want. You've come with evil intentions to my universe, and for that, I'll have to kill you.
I'd never be in your universe if only you had made the right wish.
And you think I care about the other universes? I don't really care about that. I only care about taking care of my universe. The others aren't my problem. I don't care if they disappear or not.
Damn you! You had the power to save everything, and now you're going to die for it. Unbelievable. This Saiyan is interesting. I never imagined he'd hold such a grudge for this. At that moment, Jiren would realize that he had to eliminate that guy. Toppo was next to Jiren, so he would be the first to attack. Goku would transform at that moment and use 5% to fight Toppo. Toppo would attack him, but his attacks would have no effect on Goku. Goku had destroyed all of Toppo's bones in an instant, and Toppo wouldn't be able to stand up. Jiren decided to attack Goku at that moment, and he was getting to make a little fight to the Saiyan. But Goku would tell him, "It's useless, you bastard. You can't fight me. I'm much stronger than you, and I haven't used my most powerful transformation."
But what are you talking about, you bastard? I'll finish you!
Jiren would appear from behind Goku's back, but Goku would put his arm through him at that moment, killing Jiren right then and there. Toppo would say to him,
"Damn you, Saiyan! Why did you do that to Jiren?"
Toppo, with his last energy, would try to throw one of his attacks at Goku, but this didn't help at all, and Goku would kill him right then and there. On the other hand, the Angel Marcerita had informed Belmont that Jiren and Toppo's ki had completely disappeared, leaving Belmont surprised, as he didn't believe such a fact. "Tell me, Marcerita, what happened?"
Apparently a Saiyan took both their lives.
It's impossible for them to be a Saiyan. Their entire race was exterminated in that tournament 5,000 years ago. They belonged to Universe 6 and 7. You must be wrong. No, sir. Not at all. That guy is a Saiyan. But how is it possible? Doesn't make any sense. And how is it that someone of such a weak race could have ended the lives of Jiren and Toppo? I must know who it is. Sir, it's better if you see for yourself. At that moment, the god of destruction, Vermoth, would tell the angel, Daisy, to take him to where that guy was. On the other hand, Mikushin would tell the Saiyan, "You shouldn't have done that. Possibly the god of destruction in this universe has noticed and won't hesitate to come to this place." I don't really care about that. If he wants to come, let him come. If he wants to face me, he'll warm me up. That Jiren and Toppo guy just bored me. Can't believe he won the Tournament of Power. What a disappointment. I can't imagine how helpless he must have felt to have been trapped in that place millennia ago. He must have suffered a lot. But now he's a formidable warrior with unmatched power, and the best part is that he belongs to me. Completely forgot. I really have to follow your orders, but for some reason you haven't asked me for anything, even though you took me out of that place because of that condition. For now, I've decided that you should follow your instincts. Later, you'll realize my plan. Goku would see two guys approaching, but he already knew who they were. I see. So you were right, and he will come. Some time passed, and the god Belmont had arrived to that place, and Goku would tell him, "I knew you'd come, god of destruction." The Daisy Angel, for some reason, had been surprised to see Mikushin, but Mikushin was not supposed to show emotion, and said absolutely nothing. The reason for this is unknown. On Belmont's side, he was also shocked to see the Saiyan, because he remembered seeing him before, at the Universal Tournament. How is it possible that the Saiyan is still alive? I remember it perfectly. But how could he beat Jiren? This was unthinkable. Besides, Jiren had become even stronger than before, and this Saiyan managed to defeat him without any problems. Why do you have that face, sir? You look scared. Tell me, why have you come, God Belmont? I hope you're not here for the same reason as those bastards Jiren and Toppo. How dare you, Saiyan, interrupt my universe and assassinate my two best warriors? You're a complete idiot. Those two useless bastards provoked me, and I had to kill them. I'll spare your life if you leave this place right now. Don't waste my time. Or do you want to have the same fate as them? The hell do you think? You think someone like you, a mere Saiyan, could take on someone like me? You bastard, you'll be the one who dying for defying a god of destruction. I see. So if you're thinking of fighting, even though I warned you, in that case, I'll have some fun with you. But please, don't make me laugh, Saiyan. Don't you realize what stupid things you say? So if he fights, this will be very interesting. The last time he fought was 40,000 years ago. At that moment, Goku was transformed, and he decided to use all of his power in that phase. At the same time, Belmont would increase his power, making the whole place tremble in that instant. He would laugh because he felt in Goku a power much inferior to his, so he would attack the Saiyan, and both would have a somewhat equal fight. The god was surprised because Goku was able to keep up with him, and this made him speechless. It's not possible. How can a simple Saiyan fight me? I don't understand. They would continue fighting, but Belmont would decide to use his Hakai technique against the Saiyan. I've had enough of you, mortal. It's time for you to fade out of existence. At that very moment, the god Belmont would use his Hakai on the Saiyan, but surprisingly to him, it did absolutely nothing. I see that. Yes, you're a strong god, Belmont, but I'm tired of playing with you. What do you mean, like playing, you bastard? What the hell do you mean? Goku at that moment, with his fists, made a punch into the air that would be so strong that Belmont would come to feel this, and the impact made him fall to the ground. The angel Daisy herself had been surprised by this. She'd never seen anyone humiliate the god of destruction Belmont in such a way. Belmont was on the ground, and he'd been stunned by this. The hell did he do to me? He didn't even touch me, and he felt like he gave me an abysmal physical blow. How could he be so powerful? He's just playing with me. Immortal really did this to me. I don't understand. Enough, Belmont. It's time for you to die. You had a long life, but here came to your end. You decided to challenge me even though I had warned you. Your repentance will do you no good, you goddamn god. Margarita would see that Goku was about to assassinate Belmont, but really, Belmont couldn't do anything at that moment, because it was against the rules. Belmont would tell Goku that he was just a useless Saiyan, so Goku at that moment did to Belmont his same technique of Hakai, and it would disappear completely. The angel Daisy couldn't stand this, and tried to attack the Saiyan. It would teleport behind the Saiyan, and throw an attack to Goku so powerful it made him fall to the ground. Goku was with wounds after this great attack, and would say to him, "What? At what point did he do it? I was caught so off guard by that angel. What a cheat. How dare you do this to me? I was thinking of sparing your life, but what you've done is unforgivable. You killed Belmont without mercy, Saiyan. You're scum. If I didn't do it, he was going to do it. He's the one who provoked this. But you shouldn't have killed him, you damn Saiyan!" Goku at that moment would stand up from the ground, and she would attack him, but Goku at that moment would stop her and grab her arm. "Then I see you wish to die too. And take this!" Goku would launch an attack on the angel, which left her on the verge of death. Goku would see this and think seriously, how come she didn't die with that attack? It's impossible. I see. Then I'll end her life with this last attack. That Saiyan could beat me. It's impressive. He really is this powerful. Too bad I'm no match for him. I won't be able to avenge Mr. Belmont's death. This is the end. Goku was about to kill Daisy the Angel at that moment, but suddenly, the angel Mikoshin told him not to do it, and to let her live. Why do you say that? Do you even know her? That's something I can't tell you right now, Saiyan. Alright. I'll follow your orders, and I won't kill her. At that moment, both of them would leave that place, and the angel Daisy had not died. On the other hand, the priest Daishinkan had felt the power of one of the angels was very low. But what's wrong? Why do I chase that Margarita's power has dropped so much? What happened? Wait, I don't feel the power of the god of destruction Belmont at all. That means he's dead. But how? Daishinkan wouldn't say anything to Zeno-sama, and it would quickly go to where the Daisy Angel was. He would arrive and find her still wounded on the ground. What happened to you? Who the hell did this to you? The angel Daisy would say to him, almost without being able to speak, "It was that Saiyan. He did this to me." A Saiyan, you say? No, that's impossible. How come they left you like that? Daishinkan would heal them at that moment, but suddenly this one would feel the power of this Saiyan. That Saiyan took Belmont's life with almost no effort. He somehow became extremely powerful. So this immense power belonged to the Saiyan's son Goku. Father, you must also know something. He was with a woman. Why are you telling me this? Who was that woman? Daisy was about to tell him who it was, but it seemed that she had lost her memories at that moment. Apparently, she only remembered everything else, but not the woman who was with Goku. I'm sorry, Father. For some reason, I've completely forgotten. I don't remember her now that I think about it. How come I can't visualize her in my mind? I see. I think that woman erased your memories of her. Strange. Why would someone do that? I'm sure she had a reason to do it. I only know of one person who's able to manipulate the memories of others, but I doubt it was her. Who are you referring to, Father? Forget it, Daisy. It's not important. So you're not going to tell me? Okay, I understand. Tell me how you're going to confront that Saiyan now that you know where he is because of his ki. For now, I don't think I should do it. His only sin was killing a god of destruction, Belmont. I can't punish someone just because he overcame the powers of a god of destruction and killed him. If you had died, I would have had more than enough reason to pay him a visit, but what I don't understand is how that guy became so powerful in just these 5,000 years. He didn't show up to the Tournament of Power. Zeno-sama was very upset about that, but how is he alive? If his universe was sentenced to elimination, he'd been hidden all this time in this universe? But if so, why didn't we ever feel his power? I don't understand it. On the other hand, Goku had gone with Mikushin in search of a planet on which he could live. He would try to look for one similar to Earth, but he wouldn't find it. This universe is pathetic. I need my universe back. There's no chance of seeing it again. That's right. Unfortunately, you'll never see it again, unless Daishinkan or Seno-sama decide so. Come to think of it, I could use the Super Dragon Balls to revive all the universes. How did I not think of that before? Actually, that's impossible, Saiyan. Super Dragon Balls were scattered throughout all the universes, but as they were wiped out of existence, those were also wiped out. So now there are only 2 Super Dragon Balls, which are within this universe, but they're useless anyway. Daishinkan has enough power to rebuild universes, however he couldn't return them to the way they were before their elimination. The Dragon Salama would be the only one who could do it, but it's impossible to evoke him. In any case, the Super Dragon Balls should be rebuilt, but by their own creator, the Great Salama. Who's Salama? Suppose he's pretty powerful. He's the creator god, but he hasn't been heard from for 10 billion years. That's interesting. I'd like to know how powerful that guy must be. His power has no equivalence, nor can it be measured. He's the most powerful being in existence. No one can surpass him. On the other hand, Daishinkan was in the palace of Zeno-sama, and he would tell him seriously, "You must know something important, Mr. Zeno-sama." What do you have to say? The Saiyan, Son Goku, is alive. Apparently he wasn't eliminated 5,000 years ago in your universe. Somehow or other, he survived. Zeno-sama was stunned when he heard all this, leaving him speechless. You say he's alive, but how is that possible? Even though he was my friend in his universe, it was destroyed, and for that same reason he had to share the same destiny. I'll never forget that he was my only great friend, but he must die. It was Universe 11 who won that tournament. What are you saying? You want me to kill this Saiyan? I didn't expect such a strong reaction from you, Zeno-sama. In these 5,000 years, you've changed much more than you did in the billions of years you've existed. I'm surprised that you no longer behave like a child. You're right, Daishinkan, but that doesn't matter now. If that Saiyan is alive, he'll surely have intentions of killing me, because in the end, it was me who destroyed his only universe. He's right, Zeno-sama. When he was in front of me, I noticed a great anger in his eyes, and a huge hatred. He's very different from what he was before. He looked like someone totally different. Zeno-sama would tell his guardians to give him an order. He asked his guardians that they both had to kill the Saiyan son Goku. They would obey the order, and for the first time they had separated from Zeno-sama. He had commanded them, because he knew that Goku was not just anyone, and that this one was something strong. So in these moments, the guardians would go to where the Saiyan was. Meanwhile, Goku would ask Mikushin what she's been hiding from him all this time, since for some reason, Daisy seemed to know her, and this was very strange. Mikushin would decide to tell Goku everything, and she would say, sighing, Daishinkan is my brother. Why I rescued you is to fulfill my plan and get revenge. 3 billion years ago, I was banished by Daishinkan and Zeno-sama. They believed that I had been the one who had planned the revolution that the gods and angels had. They were sick of following orders from someone as pathetic as Zeno-sama was back then, so they turned against their father, Daishinkan, and Zeno-sama. This caused a big war back then that almost wiped out the universes, but in the end, Zeno-sama ended up destroying those universes. At that time, they were very quarrelsome, so it was easy for him to blame me for everything. This was the reason why I was banished, Because of this, I had a big fight with my brother, Daishinkan, but finally, he was the one who won the battle and sealed me in a divine dimension.
But if you were sealed in a divine dimension, how come you're here?
I was able to get out of that dimension, making me more powerful than I was. In that place, there was a Supreme Guardian who was to blame for the souls not escaping from that place. He was far superior to me for millions of years, but what the Supreme Guardian didn't know was that I was getting stronger and stronger. And so the day finally came, after so much slaughter, to that damned one, and I could escape from that dimension. Zeno-sama and Daishinkan didn't know about this, thanks to the fact that I've hidden almost all my power for this time. Just like you, I also wish to annihilate those damned ones that did this to me. Without any proof, they deserve death. She was saying this to Goku, but suddenly a huge attack had almost hit them.
But who was that? It almost hit me!
Suddenly, two guys with serious expressions would say,
Saiyan, it's time for you to die. You'll pay for your sins.
I see, so that bastard was the one who sent them. How detestable. They were surprised to see Mikushin was in that place.
But how come she's alive? Didn't they seal her up? I don't understand.
Hey, that doesn't matter now. Remember that we were only sent with the order to assassinate the Saiyan.
That's right. We must comply with that order of the great Zeno-sama.
These guardians, without warning, would attack the Saiyan coordinated. They'd managed to hit several blows to the Saiyan, making him crash into some rocks nearby. Goku would stop. They would make a very coordinated attack, which impacted with the Saiyan, leaving him surprised. I see. Never seen them in a fight before. They're very interesting. But they're still just simple guardians. They're not enough against my power. How disappointing. This will end very quickly.
But what are you saying, you damn Saiyan? What are you thinking?
They'd make a powerful attack again, but Goku this time would easily stop it and destroy it.
But how did he stop it like that? How did that mortal become so strong? Our most powerful attack had no effect on him.
Son Goku, it would be better if I didn't kill them. I could control their minds to obey us and hit the damned Daishinkan and Zeno-sama where it hurts the most.
Do you really have the ability to do that? You should have said so earlier.
At that moment, Mikushin would control the minds of both of them and order them to end Zeno-sama's life. At that time, the Guardians would leave for Zeno-sama's place.
Hey Mikushin, they realize it was you who controlled them, and they'll know you're alive.
That's exactly what I want, Saiyan. They'll realize right away, since I'm the only person who could control beings as complex as them. He'll probably doubt about it. But I'll surprise that bastard. Since I was little, Daishinkan was always jealous of me, since he was a weakling compared to me, and the deities always preferred me, until he got tired and trained so much to surpass me that he achieved it. And despite the fact that everyone was taking him more seriously, and that Zeno-sama chose him, he always tried to make me look bad, and took advantage of the rebellion of the angels to frame me, and finally, he could get rid of me. I never agreed with the rules of those bastards, but it would never have crossed my mind to start such a rebellion.
I see. So it was probably all planned by Daishinkan. They were his sons after all. He probably manipulated them into doing it, so he could throw it all on you and get you banished.
Indeed. That's what happened, Saiyan. But even though I explained it to the king of all, Zeno-sama, he was totally blinded by my brother Daishinkan's words. He wanted Zeno-sama to erase me from existence, but they could only seal me away.
If so, I wouldn't be surprised if the Daishinkan priest who gave Zeno-sama the idea to erase the universes if they lost at that time. But it really doesn't matter. Whether it was Zeno-sama or that idiot Daishinkan, they both must die. That's why I trained for thousands of years, to take revenge on them.
Meanwhile, in an unknown place, someone was watching all this, and would think, everything is going perfectly. This is all very satisfying. Soon you'll all be able to return to the great Zeno-sama. You just have to wait. I've longed for this moment for millions of years. It'll finally happen. Everyone will tremble with the mere fact of your arrival. I've had to endure seeing really pathetic and weak beings profaning over you. Those who disrespect you must die, great Soma. You're not a legend, as everyone thinks. Meanwhile, in the place of Zeno-sama, the guards had arrived at that place, and Zeno-sama and Daishinkan were totally confident and sure that they had already killed the Saiyan. So Zeno-sama would ask them if it had cost them to kill him. They would lie to him, saying that it was something strong, but it did not cost them so much work to kill him. This is what Mikushin would order these guards to say. Perfect, we were able to get rid of him. I didn't have to get my hands dirty. Daisy, who was on the spot, would think, strange, how could they have killed him so easily? I remember that he was very strong. I don't understand it. Something's wrong here. When I was with that Saiyan, I realized the immense power he had. This is not just any guy. Daishinkan would notice an expression of displeasure on the angel Daisy's face and asked her, "What's the matter, Daisy? Why do you have that look on your face?" Margarita at that moment would begin to tell Zeno-sama and Daishin-kan that something was not right, but at that moment, without warning, the Guardians would attack Zeno-sama and Daishin-kan from behind, with a great attack that created a great shockwave. That destructive attack had impacted with them, leaving Zeno-sama and Daishin-kan stunned by this. Zeno-sama would have been affected by this attack, as he was totally unprepared and confident at that moment. Daishin-kan was only scratched by this attack, as he always kept his resistance. He would heal Zeno-sama at that moment, and he would say, "But how did they just attack us for no reason? I can't understand it." Wait, so they lied to us. I understand everything. It's impossible. Someone must have controlled them, but the only one who has the ability to do something like that is my sister. No, it can't be her. We sealed her. Could she be the woman who Margarita said was next to that Saiyan? I don't believe it, damn it.
So who's doing this to you, useless people? Tell me before I kill you.
We don't care about that, you damn midget. You'll die!
At that moment, the Guardians would do their most powerful technique, and they'd perform it against Zeno-sama, but they would be stopped by Daishin-kan.
I order you to stop, or I'll kill you!
They continued to attack, but by this time, they had run out of Mikushin's spell, and it was too late. Daishin-kan would wipe them out of existence. If guys like you could manipulate them so easily, you don't deserve to live. You're pathetic! Damn sister. Hope this isn't about you. On the other hand, Mikushin had seen that the Guardians had already done their job, and this one would say to Goku, "It's time, Saiyan."
I see, so it's finally here. I see, so it's finally time.
At that instant, they would head to where Daishin-kan and Zeno-sama were. Daishin-kan was sensing two great powers, which were approaching that place. What the hell? Who owns those two great powers approaching?
They're already here, Father. I knew they'd come. It was them who did all this to make them angry.
Goku and Mikushin would appear in front of them, leaving them totally speechless. So it was true. But how could it be possible? How did you escape from the seal? I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was just a crazy thought, but it's real.
That's right, brother. I was able to escape from that horrible place.
You detestable Zeno-sama. You sent your guards to assassinate me. What a coward you are. You don't know how long I waited to see your face. The one who mercilessly destroyed everything I loved.
And you should have been eliminated along with your universe. It was your Saiyan destiny, but for some reason, you're able to survive. And now you're causing a lot of trouble.
Shut up, you bastard! You seem to have changed, but that hasn't changed that you're the same stupid being you always were.
Meanwhile, Mikushin would say to the Saiyan, "Son Goku, it's time for you to show your power. For this, I decided to free you from that dimension. You must eliminate them."
Don't make me laugh, sister. Are you really going to use that Saiyan to fight me? How disappointing. A weak and pathetic mortal like him won't be able to fight me.
Goku at that moment, using his power, would throw himself against Daishin-kan, and they would have a great battle, which would shake the whole place.
The Saiyan's able to fight on par with me. What's going on?
Goku would give Daishin-kan a big kick, causing Daishin-kan to hit the ground. He saw Goku and would say,
I admit, you surprised me. You're somewhat strong, but not Saiyan enough.
Daishin-kan would increase his power in a colossal way, making this felt throughout the multiverse.
What is this great power? I've never seen my brother give off so much. Impressive.
It's enough, Saiyan. I won't waste my time with a scumbag like you. I'll kill you quick. Try it, you damn priest.
Daishin-kan in moments had appeared in front of Goku, and he would do the supreme technique of the angels. This would lock him inside an eternal seal, which made him trapped in a place called the Dimension of Despair. This could only be done by Daishin-kan, since it was a technique created by him.
It can't be. You locked him in that horrible dimension. If he had been locked in that place, he would never have escaped. No one who's been locked in that place has ever escaped. What will happen now? Saiyan, don't disappoint me.
What a bummer. I had to seal it. I told you it was pathetic. This time I'll kill you, sister. I'll show you no mercy.
Don't be stupid, Daishin-kan. That's Saiyan. You couldn't beat him that easily. I'm sure of that.
Goku inside that place thought,
the atmosphere in this place is so heavy. How unbearable. Must get out of this place quickly.
Goku would try to use his power to escape, but it was impossible.
I see. I'll have to use all my power to get out of this place. Not even in the time room had I used so much power.
Goku at that moment would give off an enormous power. He had reached his most powerful transformation. Goku would increase his power so much that the very balance of the dimension would be broken, causing him to leave the Dimension of Despair.
How? It's impossible! No one's ever been able to break free from that place! Daishin-kan, you provoked it. I didn't think I'd have to use my absolute power to have to face you. You've sentenced your death.
The hell? How did he get out of that place? No one's ever done it before. That dimension was supposed to seal him for eternity. Sealed thousands of very powerful warriors, but no one's been able to escape from it. How did he do it?
I told you, brother. Did you think that it would end like that? Don't be pathetic. That will end your life, and you'll become just a memory in my mind. Like that stupid dwarf will also be eradicated.
At that moment, Zeno-sama, with a very serious expression, would say to Goku,
I've had enough of you, Saiyan. You've caused me enough trouble. You didn't want to accept your own destiny, but you must understand. If destiny didn't end your life, then I will. Who do you think you are to come and challenge us, you bastard?
At that moment, Zeno-sama raises his hand, and he would say to him,
Disappear!
He had performed his supreme technique against the Saiyan, but he saw with his own eyes that this infallible technique had not worked against the Saiyan, leaving Zeno-sama completely stunned by this. A great shiver ran through his body. He'd be frozen because he couldn't mentalize in his head that someone could have survived that technique, especially a Saiyan. Daishinkan himself was speechless to see this, because even he couldn't have survived that if Zeno-sama tried to eliminate him. Did you really think you could finish me off with that simple technique? What an idiot you are. I've waited for this moment for a long time, in which I could take revenge for what they did. For that reason, I trained for millennia, just to see their suffering faces, knowing that their lives depend on me and my decisions, just as they felt those universes that you mercilessly eliminated. You'll pay the same coin. Shut up, Saiyan! Just because you're the only one to survive that technique doesn't mean you're superior to us. I'll finish you off immediately with my own hands. At that moment, Daishinkan, using all his powers, would appear from behind the Saiyan's back, and this would give him a strong blow, which was stopped by the Saiyan with one of his hands. Understand, you damn priest. You're no match for me anymore. Daishinkan would continue to strike at the Saiyan with devastating speed, but still, Goku parried each of his blows with ease.
Too bad you end up like this, brother, but you and that stupid midget deserve it.
Goku at that moment would give Daishinkan a big punch that sent him crashing to the ground. This can't be happening. I'm being downgraded to a Saiyan. Impossible. This can't be real. This can't be real. Believe me, it is, priest. As real as your subsequent death.
Kill them already, Goku. Make it quick. You caused a mess in the space and time universes because of their fight.
Goku at that moment would do one of his techniques, which was the Shiram. This technique was created by Goku himself, and he had perfected it completely in the time room. Didn't think I'd have to use the Shiram, but it's perfect for ending yours and Zeno-sama's existence right now. This technique turns his enemy into dust immediately, causing it to consume his every particle, and causing it to disappear from existence itself by eliminating their soul as well. Goku would charge the Shiram to end Daishinkan's life, but suddenly everyone felt a very overwhelming power somewhere in the universe. But what's wrong? Where does this great power come from? It's huge! On the other hand, the unknown subject said, At last, the great time has come, Soma. It has appeared before my eyes again, and I never thought this would happen. I did everything you ordered me to do, manipulated everything at my whim since before that such power tournament. Thanks to that happened exactly what I wanted and expected, but I don't care if that price was to wait so many thousands and thousands of years. I was able to get him out of that place, a dimension that kept him locked up for so long. The moment the Saiyan increased his power, he unbalanced all space and time between the dimensions, causing time gaps to open up as I planned from the beginning.
Well done, Kane. You did perfect. I knew you wouldn't let me down, but now that I'm back, I must regain the power that I once had.
Mr. Soma, all the universes are gone except one. There are not enough lives needed for you to regain your great power.
I see. That idiot destroyed them all, so I kill him myself, and his life will be more than enough to regain my power.
On the other hand, Mikushin had realized what Goku and Daishinkan had caused, leaving her stunned to see what she had caused. She would feel the power, and immediately realize who it was. This made her face turn pale.
Is it Soma? No, it can't be. It can't be him. This can't be happening.
Why do you have that face, Mikushin? What's wrong?
It's your fault, Saiyan. You should have finished him off quickly. But no, it's too late. He's appeared again, the most feared being of all. Many thought it was just a legend, but he's real.
Wait, but what guy are you talking about?
It's called Soma. The only thing that it was known is that the past Daishinkan with the help of Zeno-sama, and all the deities united their power to be able to seal this being. But even so, many of these deities lost their lives when they couldn't stand it anymore. This one was above all. But because of his evil plans, he had to be locked up. I think we forgot a little detail, and I'm starting to believe that she was the one who planned all this from the beginning. She may have manipulated everything, even before the Tournament of Power. All the decisions that have led us here could have been influenced by her. That woman is Kane, and in her time she did everything to please Soma. That's why now I have no doubt that it was her. She has the power to alter people's thoughts.
Then I get it. That's why thousands of years ago I had thought of going to train in that time room, just before the Tournament of Power started. That little manipulation in my head was the root of it all. That woman's the real culprit of all this. If she hadn't done it, I would have fought in the Tournament of Power and possibly won, and none of this would have happened.
I see. So everything went just the way she wanted it to, until she took you to fight with Daishinkan and caused that great impact on all dimensions. I'm surprised she's been doing this all these thousands of years. Now we're lost. They shouldn't have neglected that woman.
Everyone would be speechless to know that many of her actions were influenced by this guy named Kane. And that's why he released the terrifying Soma. On the other hand, the great Soma would say,
It's time to take back all that I have lost. Take back everything that was once mine. With my great power, I can rebuild these eliminated universes in my own way, and everything will be ruled by my thoughts.
So it shall be, my great Soma. It makes me very happy to see you back.
But I must go and eliminate that useless Daishinkan, and everyone with him. They've done their job. They're just a nuisance.
Soma had realized that he no longer needed those who freed him, because they were no longer of any use, referring to Goku and Daishinkan. This one wanted to kill the one who mainly sealed him for millions of years. This one wanted to kill Daishinkan with his own hands, and all those who had some kind of relationship with him. This included Goku and Mikoshin, so at this moment Soma and Kane would go to where Goku and the others were. He would have arrived in moments thanks to his great power.
But whose is this huge key approaching? His power is immeasurable, isn't it?
At that moment, a guy with a great dark aura would appear in front of them, telling them,
So here you were. I must thank you for what you did. You were a great help. Thanks to you, I was able to escape from that damn seal.
Impossible! Then Mikoshin wasn't lying in his premonition.
Indeed, Saiyan. The one you see in front of you is the great Soma.
At that very moment, Mikoshin, by an act of reflex, would kneel before his presence.
But what are you doing? Why are you doing this in front of that guy? Aren't you humiliating yourself?
Sorry, it's just that whenever I saw him in my past, my action was always to kneel before him, because he was the one who was above almost everything, to the point that Daishinkan and all the other deities had to unite all their power to seal him, since they didn't even have the necessary power to kill him.
You surprise me, Mikoshin. You still have that great habit. I'm pleased you still understand who's on top of everything. For that reason, I shall not end your life, but I will end the lives of these idiots. They didn't even have the audacity to prostrate themselves. How disrespectful.
Why would I kneel before someone like you? No one could be that would commit an action like that so cowardly. If you want to fight, then do it. Enough with the games. At that moment, Kane would start laughing like a mad woman.
You seriously think you have any kind of chance against him? Don't be stupid. Now that he was released, everyone must obey him, and the one who opposes will die.
Damn you. Shut your mouth. So you're Kane, the damned one who manipulated my entire environment at this disgusting whim. You're disgusting.
That's right, mortal. As soon as I saw you, I knew you had great potential to face that priest. Luckily, I'm an entity endowed with a lot of patience, and that's how I controlled everything in these thousands of years. In the end, you ended up doing what you said so much to oppose. Too bad the culprit of all this is yourself. You don't know how much fun it was for me to see that everything was going as I had wanted. It was very satisfying. I have to admit that doing it was not so difficult for me, mostly because you were very predictable. I knew everything that you and the people around you would do. I was several steps ahead.
Goku would notice that she was only trying to make fun of them. A great anger entered Goku's body when he found out that none of what happened was an act and consequence of his own actions. He would have preferred to be guilty of all this, but knowing that a person was the one who used him as a toy filled him with anger. Mikoshin would see the Saiyan who was giving off great power due to the anger he felt inside, and this one would say to him,
Goku, you must calm down. If you continue, you won't be able to take it. Kane, get rid of that guy before he becomes a problem for you, and I'll take care of the priest.
He would see that Daishinkan was already wounded, and he'd say,
It would be a pity to end your life this way, priest.
At that moment, Soma would make Daishinkan recover completely, and this one with a smile would say,
Now that you're complete, I will enjoy killing you after what you did to me. I'll use your head as a trophy. Even your sister hates you. You're detestable. Once I take your life and that damn dwarfs, I'll become the king of everything, and I will be the ultimate exponent of everything. I'll rebuild all these universes that erased, and make them as they really should be. Those detestable beings that dare to go against the rules imposed by me will be tortured and killed so that the others understand how they should behave. And that's how I make the perfect place. Far from a useless and pathetic being such as humans, those who hurt each other, kill each other, betray each other, it's disgusting. I make sure that no race is equal or similar to them. The hell are you saying, you bastard? You're sick! I won't let you do that. In any case, I'd have to be the king of everything. I don't care who you are. Kane, I told you to take care of this idiot. He's just annoying me. I have to kill Daishinkan.
This one would notice that Kane didn't respond, but Goku would tell him, I already took care of her. Did you think that someone like her could kill me? Don't be an idiot.
The hell? How did he beat Kane?
He would turn around and realize that Kane was on the ground with several wounds, leaving him surprised, since he knew the great power that Kane possessed.
Open flashback.
Soma had given the order to Kane to end the Saiyan's life, while the latter was settling scores with Daishinkan. At that moment, Kane would say to Goku, I will kill you! I'll rip out every part of your body. You don't know how I'll enjoy it. I haven't fought for millennia, but the time has finally come.
If that's what you think, you can't be further from reality.
You're no match for me. You had to realize since you've been watching me and manipulating me all this time, but thanks to that same realization, I became a being with immeasurable power. You make me laugh, Saiyan! At that moment, Kane would try to hit Goku with his divine chains, which would break the bones of any individual impacted by these. But in spite of this, Goku would say, I told you, you better not follow the order to kill me. But you did. Goku at that moment would break the divine chains that this guy possessed with a simple movement. But what's wrong? I couldn't even see his movements. What's going on? I don't understand. How is he moving at that speed? Goku in moments had delivered more than 100,000 blows to Kane, which had made her fall to the ground.
Sacred Seal!
The Saiyan would say, making her unable to move at all. I won't kill you just so you can see how I kill this person you tried so hard to free. That's how you could tell that idiot wasn't even a match for me. I'll kill Daishinkan myself after I kill you. And that stupid midget too. Zeno-sama realized at that moment that he was no match for anyone. So in an act of cowardice he tried to run away. But Goku would perform his sacred seal on him as well. Goku, I warned you, please. You're not capable of facing him. Understand that he's the great Soma. Mikoshin, you look ridiculous and stupid kneeling before this bastard, who thinks to create a new multiverse to his thoughts, which go against everything you and I think. You must understand, you must not humiliate yourself like this. Mikoshin would think about what Goku had told him, and after a while, he realized what he was doing. He's right. I can't allow this. He's sick. His father Salama should have eliminated him while he could. He's pathetic. The only thing he supported my brother in is what he did against him in the past. That Saiyan has opened my eyes. What the hell am I doing?
I say, Mikoshin, I was really thinking of sparing your life, but I see you let that guy's words rule you.
Shut up, you bastard! I don't care how powerful you are. That Saiyan and I will put an end to your miserable existence. At that moment, Mikoshin began to release an enormous power that had never been seen before. His eyes would turn red. I see, so he'll use his supreme power. He'll fight with all his power, and I'm terrified of him. Damn Soma, that Saiyan's right. Why should I show respect to someone who doesn't deserve it? It's absurd. I don't care how powerful you are. If I have to die, then I will die. But I won't allow you to do anything that goes against my wishes.
How foolish you are, Mikoshin. You already secured your life. But you just sentenced yourself. How stupid. You'll have to die along with that Saiyan and that priest.
That's something I'm willing to pay for. What you're trying to do with the universes seems absurd to me.
Stop talking then. Show me why you say so much.
Mikoshin would give off a great aura that made the whole place shudder, felt throughout the multiverse. The angel Margarita, who was on the site, was stunned by this. It's impressive. It's the first time in my entire life that I've seen Mikoshin give off that power. It's overwhelming. In the end, if things go wrong, I'll have to be on his side. We'll have to work together to defeat him. What's going on? Why don't those cowards try anything against him? How pathetic. I feel sorry for them. At that moment, Mikoshin would be ready to attack him, and so would do it without hesitation. This would take Soma by surprise, who never thought that this would happen. She would manage to give many blows to Soma, who could not see where they came from. One of these blows would make her fall, but nevertheless, he would tell her,
"That's all you have. Thought you could give more."
Shut the fuck up, you fucker! At that moment, Mikoshin would launch several attacks of destruction at Soma, and each of these powerful attacks impacted with this one, creating a big explosion in the place. What's wrong, Soma? You weren't as powerful as they said. I took that stupid smile off your face. From the debris of the explosion, Soma would come out with some injuries, and Kane would say, "No, Soma,
It can't be. How did they do that to you? It's impossible. You're the most powerful of all. Please don't die. You know how much it cost me to bring you back. How come that woman is doing this to you? I have to do something. I can't let her kill you.
Goku would see Kane's intentions, and Kane would tell him, "You'll do absolutely nothing. With the seal I put on you, you won't be able to move even a little bit. It's better that you see how they kill him, and that all the absurd things you did were useless. After he dies, you'll go with him too. For the only reason you're still alive is because I want you to see how that stupid Soma disappears before your eyes."
Damn Saiyan, you're scum. That won't happen.
On Mikushin's part, this one was extremely angry, so she was giving off a terrifying power that was crushing Soma. This one had come out of the rubble, and Mikushin would say,
Interesting, you're still alive. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. After all, you're Soma. It was to be expected, although another opponent wouldn't have been able to survive all those attacks I gave you. Zalama doesn't want to get rid of his failure of a creation, then I'll do it myself on my own. You can't believe I deigned to kneel before such a pathetic being like you.
"You don't have to worry about that, Mikushin. We all make mistakes. Just finish him off." Daishinkan would be extremely dumbfounded because his sister was humiliating him, leaving him perplexed. At what point did she become so powerful? That power abysmally surpasses the power she had before. I must escape from this place. Whoever wins will end up killing me. I'm only risking my life. I should use this as an opportunity to escape. While everyone was distracted with another major problem at that moment, Daishinkan and Zeno-sama cowardly disappeared from that place. Goku would stop feeling the power of both of them and realize they had escaped. Who would have thought? Those idiots running away. Doesn't really matter. Their death is inevitable. When I find them, I'll kill them with my own hands. But first, we have to take care of that bastard Soma. Mikushin had decided to do some of his most powerful attacks. These were capable of destroying entire universes. And this one, he had only used once in his life, and it had been many millennia ago. This technique was called Burning Sun. It was flying over Soma, and he was standing on the ground with wounds. Mikushin was creating his Burning Sun technique, and this power was becoming more and more, creating a power similar to a sun, the size of a planet. "Are you really planning to throw that here? Are you planning to destroy the universes? That wouldn't make any sense." "Goku, I know what you're thinking, but it's the price to pay. A simple attack won't kill that guy. He regenerates every part of his body, and that's why not a single trace of him should remain. Don't worry, only half of one of the universes will disappear. If he continues to live, he'll take over an entire multiverse. Losing a few million lives is nothing in comparison."
No, it can't be. You'll kill him with that attack.
"This is for everything that you came to cause.
Unfortunately, you crossed me. But the moment millions of years ago, how much were you created by Zalama? I felt a huge fear towards you. Every time I was around, I had to follow your orders, and I was always afraid of not meeting your damn expectations, because you could kill me simply because of that. Although inside, I always felt a great resentment towards you. Besides, you killed many people of whom I had a great appreciation for the same reason of not fulfilling your expectations. You are a greedy being, and you were the worst massive mistake in history. But now I finally have the chance, and I'll end this once and for all. What you've caused millions of years ago will never happen again."
I'd simply put an order. People had to follow orders from someone who really deserved it, someone with immeasurable power. Simply those who opposed or did not contribute in the right way had to be exterminated. I only wanted to create a supreme order in which all universes would follow my rules, so everything would be different. And all those disgusting beings like humans, who only destroy themselves, had to disappear.
But the way you did it was horrible. You have no heart at all. Miserable. Because killing innocent beings who opposed your ideals, just for that reason, you're detestable. Do you not understand? He just wanted to change things. Zeno-sama's creation had been a disaster. Everything was chaos. Soma just wanted to change that. He wanted to be a different place, where there was no chaos, even if that would lead him to end the lives of almost half of existence.
"Mikushin, finish him off quickly. He's getting on my nerves." Mikushin at that moment would throw the technique of the Burning Sun, and he would say, "Die." This immense destructive power had impacted with Soma, and this had created a large shockwave, almost completely destroying one of the universes.
It's over. He was finally eliminated. It was worth it, even though it almost destroyed a universe.
"Well, it's your turn, Kane. I'll end your suffering of seeing that bastard die. Don't worry, this'll be quick." Goku would do one of his most powerful techniques to exterminate Kane, but suddenly behind his back he'd hear a voice saying,
That was pretty good. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. I think it's time to play a little.